This Sunday, Argentina and Spain will play for the greatest prize in international soccer. Millions of fans across the United States and billions around the world will watch as one captain lifts the FIFA World Cup Trophy into the air. But almost nobody watching that moment knows how this trophy is actually made. It stands only 14.5 inches tall, yet weighs more than 13 pounds. It is made from 18 karat gold, supported by 2 rings of green malachite, and is one of the most recognizable objects in sports. Creating it requires traditional sculpture, extreme heat, precision casting, and hundreds of hours of work by Italian craftsmen. This is how the FIFA World Cup trophy is made. Every 4 years, players from across the planet compete for the chance to touch this trophy, but its story begins far from the stadiums, crowds, and television cameras. It begins in Italy. Outside Milan, inside a specialized workshop, experienced craftsmen produce and restore some of the most important trophies in international sports. The current World Cup trophy was designed in 1971 by Italian sculptor Silvio Gazzaniga. His design shows 2 human figures rising together and holding the earth above their heads. The shape was intended to represent movement, victory, strength, and the moment of celebration after winning the World Cup. Although it appears large on television, the trophy measures only 14.5 inches from base to top. It weighs exactly 13.6 pounds. The main body is made from 18 karat gold. That means the alloy contains 75% gold, mixed with other metals to increase its strength. Pure 24 karat gold would be too soft for a trophy that must be transported, displayed, handled, and lifted during celebrations. The base measures about 13 centimeters across and contains 2 rings of malachite, a green mineral known for its natural bands and patterns. Because no 2 pieces of malachite are identical, the stone gives every finished base a distinctive appearance. The underside records the year and name of every nation that has won the tournament since 1974. But before any engraving, polishing, or stonework can begin, the trophy must first be created as a sculpture. The process starts with a highly detailed model. Traditionally, craftsmen reproduce the trophy in wax, carefully rebuilding every curve and surface of the original design. An error at this stage would be transferred into the final metal piece and could be impossible to correct later. Once the wax model is complete, small channels are attached to it. These channels will eventually allow molten metal to flow through the mold. The entire wax sculpture is then covered with heat-resistant material. Layer after layer is applied until a strong ceramic shell forms around the model. Each coating must dry before the next one is added. This can take several days. The shell must be strong enough to preserve every detail while surviving temperatures above 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. When the mold is ready, it is placed inside a furnace. The heat melts the wax trapped inside. The liquid wax escapes through the channels, leaving behind an empty cavity with the exact shape of the trophy. This ancient method is known as lost wax casting. Now the mold is ready for gold. The 18 karat alloy is placed inside a heat-resistant crucible and heated until it becomes liquid. Gold melts at close to 1950 degrees Fahrenheit, but the working temperature must be controlled carefully to keep the metal fluid enough to enter every part of the mold. At this temperature, the gold glows bright orange. The casting operation lasts only a short time, but it is one of the most critical moments in the entire process. Any contamination, temperature variation, or interruption in the flow could create bubbles, incomplete sections, or internal weaknesses. When the metal reaches the correct temperature, the craftsmen pour it into the ceramic mold. Gravity carries the liquid gold through the channels and into the smallest details of the sculpture. The mold is then left undisturbed while the metal cools. Only after the temperature has fallen sufficiently can the ceramic shell be broken away. For the first time, the golden shape of the trophy becomes visible, But it does not yet look like the object seen during a World Cup final. The raw casting is dull and irregular. Metal remains inside the channels used during pouring. The surface contains marks, rough areas, and tiny imperfections left by the mold. Removing them requires hours of manual work. Craftsmen cut away the excess metal and begin refining the sculpture with small files, rotary tools, and fine abrasives. The goal is to clean the surface without changing the original proportions. This stage requires patience because gold cannot simply be added back if too much material is removed. The trophy gradually begins to match Gazzaniga's original sculpture. Then comes polishing. The surface is treated with progressively finer abrasives. Rotating wheels reach the larger surfaces, while smaller tools are used around the figures and the globe. Finally, polishing compounds similar to those used in luxury jewelry and watchmaking produce the reflective finish. This is what allows the trophy to explode with light under stadium floodlights and camera flashes. But the gold body is only part of the finished object. The base must now receive its 2 rings of malachite. The green stone is cut carefully and shaped to fit around the lower section. Its dark and light green patterns create a powerful contrast with the gold above it. Once the base is assembled, the underside is prepared for engraving. The names of previous champions are arranged in a spiral around the bottom. Each victory becomes a permanent part of the trophy's history. However, the team that wins the final does not permanently keep the original trophy. The authentic World Cup trophy remains the property of FIFA. The champions lift it during the ceremony and later receive a separate winner's trophy to keep. Before the original can leave the workshop or appear at a major event, specialists inspect every detail. They verify the dimensions, weight, alignment, surface finish, engravings, and stability of the base. Light is directed across the gold from different angles to reveal scratches or waves that may be invisible under normal conditions. Even a small imperfection can require additional polishing or repair. After approval, the trophy is cleaned to remove fingerprints, dust, and polishing residue. It is then protected inside a specially designed case that helps prevent scratches, vibration, and sudden temperature changes during transportation. Security surrounding the trophy is extremely strict. It is not simply several pounds of precious metal, it is a symbol recognized almost everywhere on Earth. If you want to understand how other critical systems survive under this same level of pressure, you'll find more videos on this channel. Like this video if it helped you see what normally remains invisible, and subscribe to keep discovering how the systems that run the world truly work.